Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Natural Land Institute's Facebook Live. This is our first one of 2021. Hopefully we'll actually be live on a lot of this stuff as we go along. We're coming to you today from the Natural Land Institute preserve called the Howard D. Coleman Dells Preserve. To me, this is one of the coolest ones. And if you wonder who me is, by the way, my name is Rick Barton. I'm a volunteer with the Natural Land Institute. I'm also a past board member of the Natural Land Institute, and just kind of a guy that likes to come out and search for spring flowers quite a bit. So we're on our first wildflower hike of the year coming up here. And what we're looking at today is we're looking for Symplocarpus fotitis. That's the last time you're going to hear me talk about scientific. Skunk cabbage, eastern skunk cabbage is what we're looking for. And right below me here is some. This complex that's on Hall Creek is full of skunk cabbage. When I say complex, there's now about 1,650 acres of preserved land that runs along Hall Creek, which is up in front of me over here. We have the Howard D. Coleman Dells, which we're in. Next to us, in front of me, is actually the Howard Coleman Dells of Byron Forest Preserve?
Hall Creek.
I'm sorry if I blew that if you're from Byron Forest Preserve and I didn't say it right, which is a great new preserve that's connected. Behind my back, if you go quite a ways up Hall Creek, is Severson Dells Forest Preserve. And now, to my left, way up the hill back there, is the new Ferguson Forest Preserve of Winnebago County. So combined, we got about 1,650 acres. We also have 3 Illinois State Nature Preserves. We're in an Illinois State Nature Preserve here on our property at Natural Land Institute. The Byron Forest Preserve property is an Illinois State Nature Preserve, and part of Severson Dells is also a protected Illinois State Nature Preserve. So back to our skunk cabbage, which we're looking at today. I don't know if we can see it or not. Back here you can see where we've got snow still, one of the few patches of snow, but you can see the round circles where skunk cabbage has come up. Skunk cabbage has kind of a unique early spring thing. It's the first wildflower up. It usually comes up in February and March, though when I was out here 2 weeks ago I couldn't find any. We just found this about a week ago. And it's coming up early compared to a lot of the plants because of a thing called cellular respiration. Very simply, it's taken some organic substances underground, turned into carbon dioxide, and it's coming up. I'm not going to try to explain that anymore, but you know, if you turn around and look at your virtual whiteboards that I left in all your rooms, you're going to see that on there, hopefully. Did anybody turn? Okay. So cellular respiration, what it's doing is, Chris, our site supervisor, was out here a couple weeks ago, and he took the ambient air temperature at 38 degrees. The temperature inside the skunk cabbage space in here was 54 degrees. There can be a 22 to 67 degree difference, and that's how that you can see over here. That's what causes it to come up early. The reason that it does, skunk, is in the word because it really smells. It's got a really acid smell that goes kind of like rotting flesh. The green leaves that'll come later in the summer are the more smelly ones. But your early flies and stone flies and bees that are kind of staggering out of hibernation over the year looking for some nutrition that can smell the odors of the skunk cabbage coming. And it really kind of becomes a spa for these flies and bees and stuff. If you can imagine a bunch of them sitting around in the inside of this cool space in 54 degree weather, you know, smoking a cigar, having a margarita, whatever the bees and the flies are doing there. But it's giving them some nutrition around this. The color of these, I don't know if we were able to see that really close, is a beautiful burgundy and brown when it comes up. Kind of looks like a tongue. That's called the spathe. And inside the spathe is a spadix, which are the flowers. This is actually on the plant itself, and they're petalless flowers. But that's where the bees and the flies and stuff are actually getting their nutrition from with it. Now I did just break that, and you know, I don't know if you've got the updated version of Facebook Live and you've got that sensor that you can smell stuff on there. If you don't like it, you can turn that off. Anybody looking for that? Okay. I can smell it from here going with it. But this is giving that early forms of insect life a place to go and be really good and stuff on there.
We lost
Uh-oh, we lose.
the microphone.
Sorry about that. We've lost the microphone. Okay, we got the microphone back. Everyone can hear me again. Kim stepped on our mic cable that we've got going here. So yes, early plants, first wildflower that's up. Like I was telling you, that cellular respiration, it kind of heats itself internally so that it can melt the snow and come up with it. As you go through the summertime, we really don't have one close to us here with the green leaves. If you walked along creeks, these are wetland plants and wet woodland plants. We're kind of down in a floodplain right now, and this is where you'll commonly find them, coming up all over the place out here with us. As the summer goes along, these will form giant leaves that look like elephant ears. They can be anywhere from about 1.5 feet wide to 2 feet long. You may have seen them out in those fields on it. They'll grow up along the sides of the plant. And if you can imagine being in a floodplain, you got these gigantic leaves and everything that are coming up there. My guess in the summertime is they really give some nice shade and protection to frogs and salamanders, snakes, gnomes, fairies, whoever wants to sit underneath those leaves and get out of the sunshine and into the shade and stuff like that. And it's those green leaves that really have the smell. So if you want to pull a trick on somebody sometime, you find the green leaf, just crumple some up. You will get it on your hands, but you'll get that nice odor. This kind of smells like a skunk that's coming out there. Another cool fact actually of those leaves, when you see it, there's no stems on those leaves. Skunk cabbage has a contractural root system to it. And what will happen is these roots are down deep. I've heard it's pretty hard to dig some of these up and try to replant them. That is not something you should be doing in Illinois State Nature Preserve, by the way. You can go buy some skunk cabbage to do that. But they'll take the roots, and as it starts to grow, the deep roots will start to shrink and pull the stems back into the ground. Most of this plant grows below the soil with it. So all you're seeing up on top is the giant leaves. And it grows quite deep down into that soil with it. So it's kind of a unique, fun plant to know about, to bring the kids out there. My grandkids, who I think are watching this, there's some homeschool today. They've come out and helped me search for skunk cabbage in the past with it. But it just gives you that early break to go out and enjoy everything with it. These preserves that are along Hall Creek, again, are full of, beautiful skunk cabbage and stuff like that. There will be, down the line, some more. We got any questions coming off with that? Darn, I love questions, even though I might not be able to answer them with it. So we do future. If you're new to the Natural Land Institute, this kind of a wildflower walk Facebook Live that we're doing. We'll be doing live wildflower walks again, hopefully this summer, which will be starting up. Those will be posted on the naturalland.org website coming up. We do that in conjunction with Severson Dells. It's quite possible that we'll be back here at Howard D. Coleman Dells Forest Preserve, which has got some really cool ephemerals in the springtime. Come out and do that. We got a question.
I do have a comment. You may know this person. It says, "Hi, Grandpa Rick."
They are doing some homeschool this morning from home with it. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. The question back there wasn't a question. It was a "Hi, Grandpa Rick." So the grandkids are watching this morning. Something else, speaking of that we'll be doing of kids out in nature again. In June, we'll bring up the Family Nature Day again. Last year we did it virtually, and Grandpa Rick here did some pond study with it. We hope to do it live this year, and sometime around the third week of June. That info will be coming up on our website, shortly. And that's a good place to bring the kids out and learn a lot about birds, animals, archaeology of the sites. We do this at Niagara Wetlands. The pond study, which Mark, who's here with me today, and I go in and dig up some critters and help everybody show those critters with it coming up from natural land. Hopefully we've given you enough time today to enjoy this. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It took us a while to find this patch. Our site supervisor that did the temperature check last week kind of didn't give us the best directions. He had to jog down here to help us find this patch today. But I hope everybody has learned something, and go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Get out now and do some hiking.
We have a couple comments.
Oh, we got some comments coming here.
So this came from Judy. I am surprised at how much snow is left at Coleman Dells.
Judy says she's surprised at how much snow is left at Coleman Dells. This is actually on the north face of a limestone bluff, Judy. I don't know if Kim can show it here, but you know this doesn't get a whole lot of sun. This is the only snow we found out here, by the way. Everything else is pretty dry.
And Carrie asked you to talk about the internal temperature of the plant.
Okay, Carrie's asked me to talk about the internal temperature of the plant. Where I went back when I started out with it, the internal temperature generally will be about 22 to 67 degrees warmer than what the air temperature is. There was a post that Chris had put up a couple of weeks ago where it showed 38 degrees out here where I'm standing, which it might be about that right now. The internal temperature with the meat thermometer he did in the plant was at 54 degrees. That's that cellular, what they call it there, cellular respiration that I asked you to check your whiteboards behind you on. You know, I put those virtual whiteboards up there for you. That'll explain what it is, or you can look it up on Google later with it. But it does take organic matter, turns it into carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide heats up and comes out through the snow. You can see the circles out here to do some early plants with it. Unlike, you know, another early plant that we have, the pasque flower, actually uses solar. It doesn't come up through the flat, but it'll use like solar panels to heat itself up. This one's creating energy within the plant. Got any other comments we got coming? Any questions?
I think that's it. So.
Very good. As Kim's showing you, some of the that one there's got some green leaves, I think, starting to come out on it that she's on right now. Those will start to cover up these current plants a little bit. So again, thanks to everybody for coming out. I've enjoyed this. Hopefully you have, and have a good rest of your day. See ya.